I mean, I want to play a little game with you.
Okay.
Things you have in common with other famous actors. Harrison Ford, of course, was one time a pretty good carpenter.
Yeah.
And you trained for that. Now, why didn't that career work out for you?
Too hard. I just too much back-breaking work, and I don't know. It was something that was going to be more similar every day. I wanted something that, sort of more of a varying existence, I guess.
Right. And I don't know if you knew this, but Bruce Willis, one of his very first big breaks, was doing a TV commercial for Levi jeans. Now you did the jeans for no. Now, what was the audition like for that?
Well, I guess you have to wear a pair of Levi's to the audition. There was a guy there in a pair of Lee jeans. And I said to myself, oh man, you should have. That's like going in there and slapping him in the face. You got to wear Levi's to the audition. So yeah, that was, it was just so simple. Just kind of go in there and stand there and turn around and leave.
Now, what was the worst thing you had to do doing commercials? Like, I know it's a lot of repetitive stuff. What kinds of things did you have to do over and over again?
Oh, over and over again, or they're like the most embarrassing commercial moment?
Most embarrassing, yeah.
I did one time do you remember that show, The Facts of Life?
Yeah.
Well, that had been sold in a syndication, and the syndicated run was getting ready to play in New York. And they wanted people like off the street singing the theme song. So they had people sort of from all walks of life, and I played this like young Italian guy singing the song, and they played the heck out of it in New York. It was on all the time. All my friends saw it. And yeah, it was pretty embarrassing.
All right, I got a question about shooting this movie overseas in London. I'm just curious, when you walk down the street there, how recognizable are you, and do British fans react differently than, say, you're walking down Melrose Avenue here?
Well, the show's very popular there. I would say as popular as it is in the States. But the difference in the fans is that people on Melrose, because it's Hollywood, sort of expect to see famous people, and it's more the norm. Whereas in London, the last thing they expect is to see me walking down the street, so it was a little bit of a bigger deal. But they were similar in the sense that they loved the show, and they were very sort of supportive and congratulatory, and just happy to see us. We're all over there now, with the exception of Lisa Kudrow, because she's going to have a baby next month and can't fly, so the other 5 of us are there shooting. I go back after the premiere tonight. I just got in at 2:30 this morning. So.
It's funny, these days movie props are a really big deal. People are ripping them off on sets and that type of thing. What was the security like on the set of Lost in Space, and what kind of mementos did you keep for your personal collection?
I kept the gun belt that I wore in the movie, and the ray gun. And I actually gave it to Kevin Bright, the creator of Friends, because he has this incredible collection of television and movie memorabilia in his office. I don't know how he gets any work done, and there's so many cool things to play with, like a $6 Million Man doll and all this other cool stuff. So he's a good guy.
Okay. I grew up watching Lost in Space, and Don West was my hero, and Mark Goddard. When you met him, I mean, what was it like when you two met for the first time? Was it
he was a hero of mine too. Yeah, and I was just really happy to meet him, and he was very supportive, and we would joke. He'd say, "Well, that's not the way I would have played it," and things like that. He was just a pleasure to be around. Really nice man.
Okay. And last question: when you walked onto the sets for the first time, what was your initial reaction to how massive they were?
They were indeed massive, and there was, I think we had 11 or 12 sound stages, so we pretty much dominated Shepperton Studios in London. And the amount of time and detail that went into the sets was what really blew me away the most. The exterior planet set was just, you could just walk around. Sometimes we would go in there after work, or days we weren't shooting there when all the lights were off and it would be dark, and you just walk around with just a very small amount of imagination. You were there. Right. So it was like really interesting.
And a quick thing, how tired have you gotten of people going, "Danger, Will Robinson"?
Not that tired. I haven't heard that much, I guess.
Okay, great.